More repairs are coming to the Lahaina Small Boat Harbor. State officials on Friday released $8 million in capital improvement program funds. That will help reconstruct the outer marginal wharf. The harbor was destroyed in the August 2023 wildfires, but reopened to commercial tours last month.
There's a concern that, as things rush forward with so much entities that are gone and lost, that outside entities, many who are very well financed, will rush in and the harbor will change and the community could be displaced. As these concerns come forward, it's imperative we address them. Otherwise, we could inadvertently fall into the trap of rebuilding, and all of a sudden you have flaws developing which could have been addressed had we simply engaged during the process.
Construction is expected to begin next year.